Hello viewers, this is Dr. MS Khan and you are watching our YouTube channel History Gems. We are here with another video. Today's our topic is growth of revolutionary activities. In the last video we had discussed what were the causes which led to the growth of revolutionary activities. And today we will discuss how these revolutionary activities started in India. So, as we discussed yesterday, because of the moderate policies followed by the Congress led to the rise of assertive nationalism, because the group of leaders, their thought was that the moderate policies are not going to bring any desired result. If we want freedom from the British, then we have to take action against them. So this feeling and the oppressive policies followed by the British during the anti-partition movement led to the growth of revolutionary activities, and it led to formation of some secret societies. So many of the secret societies were formed in Bengal as well as outside Bengal. As far as Bengal is concerned, in 1902, one of the most important organization which was founded in 1902, it was Anushilan Samiti. Anushilan Samiti, it was founded by Paramathannath Mitra, popularly known as P.N. Mitra. So this Anushilan Samiti very soon became very prominent organization in parts of Bengal, and this Anushilan Samiti and other secret societies, they wanted to follow the revolutionary path. They wanted to take arms action against British. They wanted to bring revolutionary activities to get freedom from the British rule. So their thinking was that the ultimate aim of these revolutionaries was to end the British rule in India, but by following the revolutionary path. So in that way, this Anushilan Samiti, it was spread in various parts of the country, and in West Bengal it became as Jugantar Group. Okay, so in West Bengal it was led by Jugantar Group and its base was in Calcutta, while in East Bengal it was known as Dhaka Anushilan Samiti. More or less these all organizations were doing the same and they all have connection with each other. So East Bengal Dhaka Anushilan Samiti was there, in West Bengal Jugantar Group was there, and they all were leading the movement, armed movement against the British. As far as this Jugantar Group is concerned, it was led by Aurobindo Ghosh and his brother Barindranath Ghosh in Calcutta, and from there they were carrying out secret societies. Various underground activities were carried out by them, and these activities became one of the challenge to the British. So these revolutionary activities continued in various parts of Bengal, and various prominent leaders like Aurobindo Ghosh, his brother Barindranath Ghosh, Bhupendranath Datta, Deshbandhu Chitranjan Das, Surendranath Tagore, Pulin Bihari Das, Sarla Devi, Rash Bihari Ghosh, Hemchandra Kanungo, Satyen Basu, many other revolutionaries were the part of these secret revolutionary societies. Jugantar Group, they founded and started a publication of Bengali journal Jugantar and English journal Vande Mataram. So through their publication, they carried out revolutionary activities and tried to send the message through these journals, their publication among the masses about their activities and about their ideology. So these journals were carrying out their ideological programs. During their revolutionary activities, one of the most important activity was that they tried to assassinate Magistrate Kingsford, who was the magistrate in Calcutta. Then he was uh, transferred to Bihar, Muzaffarpur. So Banindranath, he commissioned two young men, Prafulla Chaki and Khudiram Bose. They tried to kill Magistrate Kingsford. But actually Kingsford was not in that carriage, and by mistake they killed two British ladies. So finally Khudiram Bose, while he was fleeing, he was arrested, and Prafulla Chaki, he committed suicide, while Khudiram Bose was arrested and hanged. One other revolutionary program was they sent Hemchandra Khanungo to Paris to learn the art of bomb making from Russian revolutionary Nicholas Safransky. Okay, so these revolutionaries, they wanted to learn art of bomb making so that they can carry out the revolutionary activities in India through bomb blasts and other sources. So he learned art of bomb making, and then it was used in different conspiracies which were carried out by these revolutionaries in later years. So when they carried out this murder attempt on Magistrate Kingsford in 1908, at that time when the investigation was done, then its connection was found that it was with Barindranath Ghosh and Aurobindo Ghosh. So police made a raid in April 1908 and they discovered a secret bomb making manufacturing factory at Murarikpur, known as Maniktala, in near Calcutta. So when this bomb making factory was discovered at Murarikpur by the police, then it led to the arrest of many of the important revolutionaries, including Aurobindo Ghosh, his brother Barindranath Ghosh, and many other revolutionaries. And then trial took place at Alipur, where many of the revolutionaries, they were given long-term imprisonment and sent to Andaman jail. Fortunately, Aurobindo Ghosh, because of the smart pleading by Deshbandhu Chittaranjan Das, he succeeded to get acquitted. After this incident, Aurobindo Ghosh took retirement from active politics, and then most of the important revolutionaries had been arrested. So for some time, the activities of Jugantar group had gone down. After Alipur conspiracy case, There took place many other revolutionary activities like this Delhi conspiracy case in 1912, which was led by Rash Behari Bose and other associates to assassinate the Viceroy Lord Hardinge. Although in this unsuccessful attempt, Viceroy was seriously injured but was not killed. So Rash Behari Bose, he was main culprit in that case, and he kept on running in hideout, and then he fled from India. Another important conspiracy case was Barisal conspiracy case in 1913, in which there was the case against 44 Bengalis to incite rebellion against the British. And this was led by Tiloknath Chakrabarti and Pratul Chandra Ganguly. So in this case also, 32 of them were not convicted, only 12 of them were convicted. Some of them were given long-term imprisonment and some of them were given light imprisonment. So these revolutionary activities continued with the length of time. Besides these Jugantar group revolutionary activities, one more group in Eastern Bengal was very active. Although it was the parent organization of the same Anushilan Samiti in East Bengal, it was known as Dhaka Anushilan Samiti, and in West Bengal, it was known as Jugantar Group. Although in later years, there came some ideological differences between these two organizations. As far as this Dhaka Anushilan Samiti is concerned, it was founded by Pulen Bihari Das in 1905. And Pulen Bihari Das, he emphasized on recruiting the youths through these physical training, through akhadas and gyms, local gyms, and creating an environment of revolution in all parts of the country. So this organization very soon became very famous and left behind their parent organization in West Bengal, Jugantar Group. Soon they opened more than 500 branches in most part of East Bengal and other regions. And it included the membership of around 15,000 to 20,000. So it shows its very popularity among the youths. Important member of this organization were Tiloknath Chakrabarti, Makhanlal Sen, Nilkant Ghosh, and other prominent members were there. And this Anushilan Samiti of Dhaka carried out various attempts to create a terror in the region against the British. For example, they carried out one attempt on 23rd December 1907. They made an abortive attempt to assassinate District Magistrate of Dhaka, Mr. D.C. Allen. As well as they tried to blow up the train in which Bengal Governor Fraser was traveling. So these were some of the revolutionary activities which were carried out by these organizations. Besides these revolutionary activities in West Bengal and East Bengal carried by Jugantar and Anushilan Samiti, there were various other secret organizations active in various other parts of the country also. For example, in Pune, two brothers, Damodar Chapekar and Balkrishna brothers, they killed the plague commissioner Mr. Rand and his assistant Agast because of their attitude against the patients suffering from plague and not giving proper response and treatment to the people. These brothers were angry and they killed Mr. Rand and his assistant Agard. Both of them were tried and hanged. Then various other secret organizations were active in Maharashtra also. For example, these Bal Samaj, Arya Bandhav Samaj, Mitra Mela, Abhinav Bharat. These all were very famous. And among these, Mitra Mela and Abhinav Bharat became very famous. Abhinav Bharat especially, which was established in 1904 by these two brothers, Vinayak Damodar Savarkar and Ganesh Damodar Savarkar. So these brothers, they carried out secret revolutionary activities in India. P.N. Bapat, who was a member of this, he was sent to Paris to learn the art of bomb making from the Russian revolutionaries. Beside India, various other important centers were also opened outside India. And Vinayak Damodar Savarkar, when he went to study law in England, he continued the secret activities there. So they set up their secret societies and carried out different activities in India. For example, V.D. Savarkar and Lala Hardayal. They set up association in London. Okay, so they set up association in London, as well as Ajit Singh and Madam Kama. They became very active in Europe part. So not only India but England and other part of Europe, they revolutionaries, they carried out their various activities. In 1909, Madan Lal Dhingra, so Madan Lal Dhingra, he killed Mr. Valley. Mr. Valley, who was an official in India, official of the India in England, he was killed by Madan Lal Dhingra. And for this murder, Madan Lal Dhingra was hanged. So these were some of the important organizations and many of the revolutionary activities carried out in India as well as in other part of Europe to draw the attention of the world for the freedom movement of India. So what was the influence? How much do these revolutionaries contributed and influenced the young people of India? So as far as the impact of this revolutionary movement is concerned, although it created a patriotic fervor among the youths, and many of the revolutionaries like Khudiram Bose, and they became the hero in the among the youths, and they became the subject of the folklore in this area. So this revolutionary movement, it succeeded in disturbing the British. But you know that they could not challenge the authority of the British, because British, they had handled the revolutionaries with iron hand. Some of the revolutionary activities which were carried out by the Indians, but many of the approver were Indian itself. So most of these secret activities became unsuccessful because of the treachery from the Indian itself. So it disturbed them, but they could not challenge their authority at all. And that is why this movement could not mobilize the masses, because those who were arrested, they were given very long-term imprisonment, life imprisonment. Some of them were given death sentence. So that is why common people were afraid of it. They did not want to be the part of any such activities. And most of these organizations were the secret organization, and they had no base among the people. Common people were not knowing anything about their activities. So there was no connection with the common people, and very few people were attached to these organizations. One other important factor for the failure of this movement and not leaving a deep mark on the British was that moderate wing of the Indian National Congress never supported the movement, because they were not in favor of any kind of revolutionary activities. They wanted to follow the constitutional means of getting their rights. And main thing was that British handled these revolutionaries with iron hand. Severe punishment was given to all those who were involved in any such crime and in any such secret activities. So that is why, because of all these reasons, the impact of revolutionary activities was very limited. And then in later years, when Mahatma Gandhi started non-cooperation movement, then during this time these revolutionary activities came down, and they gave support to Mahatma Gandhi, so that these activities came down. But in later years, again some other organization sprang up, and some revolutionary activities continued till late 1930s. So that's all for today. Thanks for watching. Please do not forget to like, share and subscribe.